So let's get to it. Today you're going to be watching a talk done by 11-year-old Hazik, I think is how you say his name, Kazi. He has an awesome message for us, and I think he's a fabulous first example of a TED Talk done by a younger person like yourself, okay? So we're going to do some really important work today that is not going to involve just watching, but also doing some really careful observing and thinking and analysis of the talk that we are listening to. Okay, so I hope you really appreciate his message, but also appreciate the way in which he conveys his message. So here's what you need. You need a device, obviously, because you're going to be watching this video that is linked. Oh no, Kimberly. Come on. Well, I wanted to make you feel like you were actually really, in class. So there we go. Okay. You're going to need that. You're going to need your writer's notebook. Mine's a blank sketchbook now because I've just, I've moved away from all structure, right? So I've got my page in my writer's notebook titled with TED Talk at the top, and I've labeled it with the name of the talk, which is Cleaning Our Oceans, A Big Plan for a Big Problem by Hazik Kazi. And I've got my colored pens there ready to document my great thinking. I hope some of you really appreciate the ocean themed color scheme I went for here. Yeah, I have time to pay attention to those things now, so that's very special, isn't it? Okay, so we've got our notebook, we've got our device, we've got our pens, and the first step you're going to go through today is just to watch and do some documenting in your notebook. And you might be asking yourself, well, what am I supposed to write down? But I have you covered, because look at this. Oh, and there's all my peeps. You're all there, I swear. All of you. I look at you every day. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you to think about as you are watching today, okay? So I want you to notice, how does he hook his audience? How does he grab their attention? We talk about how to hook our audiences in our writing, but how do we do it when we're speaking? What strategies can we use? And what does he use? We also want to notice about his use of visuals, okay? What do you notice about what he chooses and when he chooses to use them? Then I want you to think more broadly. I'm not going to focus you too much, but what stands out to you about his talk? What is it that you notice and causes you to think and feels like it's, something you need to write down? How does this talk make you feel? That's really important, because when people are moved emotionally, we help them remember things. And we want, if people are listening to us, we want them to remember. So emotion plays a big role. What is the idea that he is spreading? What does he want his audience to take away? And then what are the qualities that make his idea an idea that's worth spreading? Okay. So that's just a kind of deeper question about the one that he does want us to walk away with. But what characteristics does that idea have? See if you can put language to that. See if you can name those qualities when you're writing your thinking down, okay? So those are the things you're going to be thinking about. Do you have to answer all of those questions? Well, I'd like you to have some thought about each one of them, yes. And I'd like you to get your ideas down, because we're going to be looking for patterns. This isn't the first talk or the only talk rather, that you're going to listen to and watch. So we want to look for patterns across many talks. And I think that answering all of these questions will help you do that. Okay. So you're going to do that. And I will put a still shot of this linked in the post too. You're going to want to answer those in whatever way, shape, form you want to. You can list your thoughts. You can sketch note them. That doesn't really matter. I just want you to get it down first before you move to the second part of this, which is putting your thoughts into your TED Talk notebook. So we're going to come back to our advice. Our advice. Oh my gosh, you guys, not enough coffee in the world. Device. Okay, so you've watched the talk. you've documented your thinking in your notebook, and then you're going to come over and you're going to get into your TED Talk notebook, and you're going to go to slide number 3. And what you'll notice is I already have that talk title at the top and Haziq's name. And now you have a table that I want you to complete. So this is where you're going to take all of your great thinking from your notebook and you're going to put it right in here. What stood out? Document your thinking. How did you feel and why? I cannot stress enough that it's very important that you begin with your handwritten thinking and then you come back over here, okay? Please don't skip the step where you're writing in your writer's notebook. Please don't do that. We process things very differently on paper than we do on a screen. And I want to make sure that you do both, okay? Also, you're going to see this video again tomorrow as a model if you need a reminder, okay? Because this same process is what you're going to use with 2 other talks. So don't feel weird or strange if you need to go back and watch the video again to give you some reminders. Okay? All right, carry on.